Bag up, bag up. Bag up, Terry. Put in reverse, Terry. Put in reverse. Oh, Lord. Lord, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus. What you doing, Terry?
Hello everyone and welcome to our universe.
The CayVin Universe.
We are your hosts. I am Vinny.
And I'm Caylin.
You can find us at the CayVin Universe on social media and YouTube.
And you can email us at thecayvinuniverse@gmail.com.
Yes. Right now, and then about the YouTube, probably next week. Next week at the earliest, 2 weeks at the latest, we're going to have video up on YouTube. So go ahead and make sure you follow that now. Turn on that little bell. And that way you can get notified when we do post our video highlights on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right now we still do post full videos. But along with doing the podcast, that YouTube channel is attached to my old supplement review YouTube channel. So I think I'm still going to do those too.
Yeah,
and then we'll do some other exciting things on YouTube. So yeah, make sure you do that.
Yeah.
All right, that's the end of the cheap plugs. Good news is we don't have any sponsors, so you don't have to listen to any more plugs or advertisements.
Right.
At least right.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. Happy 4th of July to our American listeners.
Yeah.
Of course, we're in Texas, so happy Independence Day. Happy day that Will Smith saved us from the aliens.
Yes.
Independence Day movie. It's a great movie.
I know. I haven't seen it in a long time. Speaking of movies, we recently just watched Shutter Island.
Oh my God.
I've never seen it.
My favorite movie, and I would say my favorite book of all time.
Yeah. You said you listened to it on the audiobook. Right?
Yes, on audiobook. It's just great. And like the movie and the book is pretty much, you know how like people complain that they change too much in the movie? Mm-hmm. The movie and the book are pretty much spot on. Only like the book the movie leaves out, 5-6 scenes. Yeah. You could say from the book. And, it doesn't even the scenes have hints to the overall big picture of the movie, but they're not important to add in the movie. They were, easy to be taken out. So, it's a great movie. What do you think about it? Because that's like my third time watching it.
Yeah, no, I had never seen it. I thought the concept was cool, and then like the turn it took at the end, I was just like, whoa.
There's so much twists and turns, and then watching it the fourth time. Yeah. There's so much foreshadowing. It's so great.
You kept making the comments about that.
Yes, and it's like every time I watch that movie and it's over, maybe they should have added all the scenes from the book. Yeah. Because every time I watch that movie and it's over, I'm like, fuck, you want more.
Except for that, just that one story. Scene that was hard for me. I was like, oh, I don't know how much more of this I could watch.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of sadness in it. Yeah. About kids being drowned and mental institution. If you haven't seen Shutter Island, give it a watch, and if you like reading or like listening to audiobooks, give it a listen. Yeah. You're getting some feedback. Hold on. Yeah, sorry about all the background noise. Yeah. We got things going on. I don't know what's going on outside, and then we have our typical noisy neighbor that plays music loud. Yeah. What the hell is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a water hose. Yeah. God damn it. There's things we deal with, people.
I know.
There's things we're trying to bring you entertainment.
None of this that we were hearing or listening to like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly. We're trying, people. We're trying to entertain you. We're trying to give you something to listen to, something to distract you when you need it. And this is what we do with, So I apologize if you hear all the background music. I know there was a few episodes we posted that you could hear the background music, and even me listening to it, I was so fucking annoyed. But yeah, so sorry about that. I hope we don't get pulled off of YouTube for his background music.
I know, right?
Can you imagine?
No, I don't think you could understand it that well.
Yeah, but I totally forgot what we were talking about. But yeah, give Shutter Island a watch or listen. And speaking of viewers, something I wanted to do, something new I wanted to start. We don't have any precise names of viewers, but we can look up some stats here. And I just wanted to give a shout out because it's so crazy how our podcast is being listened to around the world. Yes. Of course, I wanted that. We wanted that, but we didn't expect to happen so quick. Yeah.
And so many places, like a new place almost every day.
Yeah, it's so crazy. And even if it's just 1 or 2 listens, it still makes a difference. It's great. So, of course, we'll get to the United States because we are in Texas. So, India, these are gonna basically the top from most to least listens, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
So India, shout out to India, shout out to the United Kingdom, Bangladesh, shout out Canada, and then I'll break down specifics in Canada as well.
Yeah.
Canada, the land of the land of legal weed. So I'm jelly. So shout out to Canada, Denmark, shout out Finland, Israel, Netherlands, Turkey. Let me switch over here. More Indonesia, shout out Iran, Mexico, Taiwan, shout out to those, and then unknown, shout out to unknown.
Shout out to unknown.
Shout out to unknown. Those people out there, they get their phones track proof.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those Nigerian princes out there, shout out. We won't send you any money to send us more money. Sorry. And speaking of Canada, we did have a view in Australia a couple months ago, but I guess we didn't entertain them enough. They jumped off. They're like, these people are fucking boring.
Sorry about it.
Canada, shout out in Quebec and in British Columbia. So yeah, there you go. Shout out. And then of course the United States. So we got views in Alabama, Georgia, Michigan. Of course, Texas, and then recently we got Arizona, California, and then let's see, Alabama's on the board again.
Yeah.
More unknown. Shout out to Unknown America, and yeah, especially Texas because we are from Texas.
Yeah.
That's gonna be our most views. So I don't know how the algorithm works.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so all of those people from everywhere around the world, thank you so much for listening to us. We hope we can. Have listener retention. We hope you come back. So if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, like we said earlier, our email thecayvinuniverse@gmail.com. Please reach out to us. Let us know what you think. If you have any comments, suggestions, look, we're new to the game and we're open-minded people. So whether you want to give support, whether you want to critique us, we're all for constructive criticism. Let us know what you think. And I bet by episode 100, 200, 300, the podcast might be totally different than it is now. So, and that depends on our listeners, basically, what they want. We're going to be here to basically tell what we want and talk shit about what we want, but also the listeners are very important as well, too, to give us that feedback. So, again, thank you for listening, and reach out to us. Let us know if you need anything.
Yeah.
So, what do you got, Caylin?
I don't know. What should we... current events...
Yes. Yes. Today is going to be about current events, and these are just things that we just, I guess, recently in the last week or so came across. So we wanted to go over that today. Again, I apologize last week for not having 2 episodes and not being on schedule. Again, this week was a hectic week. But good news is next week we will have a lot of time to really sit down and talk about our podcast and get it all worked out. So. Today or this week we're going to talk about current events. So do you want to go first?
Yeah, I guess so. So one of the things that I had seen, I saw another story about, these 2 women getting, ran over by a vehicle, and I'm like, what? In Seattle during protests, and I didn't really know the protests were going on still.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess it's still pretty bad over there, but I think it's kind of died down areas. Here, where we are down in Texas.
Yeah, and they broke up that, what is that place, that anti-police zone that they try to claim, and then there was a 16-year-old boy that was shot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, those protests, and it's just like, we're still fighting fire with fire, you know? It just, we need to come to a conclusion, or we need to agree to disagree, or come to, just meet in the middle. It's sad. It's sad what's going on for both sides, because both sides have family, both sides have loved ones, and honestly, on both sides, there's gonna be good people and there's gonna be some assholes. Oh, yeah. So it's just the fucking way this planet is. I know.
Yeah, and I thought too, because for a while there we saw like that the protests were taking over in the media, and now the coronavirus is back. Well, I mean, like we've said before, it never left, but now it's just like taking over again.
Yeah, this coronavirus, it's like It went down, and well, yeah, you're right. It didn't go down like we said. It stopped getting talked about by the media, and I believe that's because people wanted it to go away, and people thought of it. You know, it was gonna go away if we just, I guess, forgot about it, like it's Freddy Krueger or something like that.
Yeah, it doesn't really work
but
that
that's not how it works. Yep.
Yeah.
So here we are. Texas is being shut down, Texas shut down the bars. Other places are bad, like Florida, Arizona. We got all these new hot spots. It's like it started up north and now it's like came down here, like the worst of it started up north and now it's down here. So
New York was really bad at one point,
but now they're pretty stable right now.
They're reopened, and not in the news every day with cases going through the roof again.
But of course the fucking governor, he shut down bars, which is understandable. I know a lot of people were mad, but bars are understandable because that's where the most people gather. Work at a gym, people gather at gyms too. And honestly, I thought gyms should be closed as well, but because it's the weirdest fucking rules that we have. It's like you can wear a mask, or you have to wear a mask while you're walking around, but while you're on a workout machine, you're quote unquote social distancing, so you can take your mask off when machines are not even 6 feet apart. Like they're like 3 foot apart.
Honestly,
it's just a fucking mess. It's just a mess. And the governor of Texas did say that masks are now mandatory everywhere you go, or they can write you a ticket if you're not wearing a mask. Which I agree. Like we said before, it's just you're wearing just a piece of fucking fabric on your face. Even if it doesn't fully protect you, even if it protects you 10%, it's still fucking something. Like just wear the damn mask. And that's the thing. Like the governor says that or everyone's saying young people are the reason why it spikes, because young people. And it's like, okay, so I can tell you experience from working at gym and telling 100 people a day, hey, you got to put your mask on. Hey, you got to wear a mask. All the young people I've told that to, they're like, oh, okay, cool. And
it's the older.
All the older people are the ones, this is fucking stupid, I don't want to do this, I'm American, blah blah blah. It's like, so it's these older fuckers that think that because I'm sure at a certain age you're like, fuck it, like I've been through some shit, I can do what I want.
Some people don't care about like, oh, I don't care if I get sick, but it's like, okay, you really don't have that much respect for somebody else. And
then you do have those people that are just stupid fuckers and don't give a shit about any other people. Just wear your fucking mask, people. God damn, I don't understand how people are so ignorant. Me either. And it's like, oh, it's my right as a American not to wear a mask. Okay, when you enter a place of business, you basically have to follow their rules. Within to a certain point, they can't fucking make crazy rules either. But they can say, you can't set foot in my store without a mask, and you can't do shit about it. Go to a fucking law firm and tell them that, and they're gonna tell you how fucking stupid you are. God. So it's just like the whole thing with young people and old people. They say young people are always like rude when they go out places and things like that. Rude to like people who work at these places. And it's like, have you ever seen a young person, working at a grocery store before? Have you ever seen a young person throw a shit fit over a coupon expired? Exactly. No, that's always older people that do that.
And I deal with the same thing too when for example, I work in insurance, and we obviously have our younger customers, that I call and talk to on their phone. They're in their 20s or whatever, And then you have the people that, I call that are older, and you'd be surprised, like, telling somebody that's of young age, oh, hey, your payment went up, $5-10. Okay, that's fine. And then you go and have to tell, like, an older person, and they're like, what? This is so crazy. Like, I've been with this company for so long. You're about to lose a customer. It's like...
Oh, God, I love that. I love that you're about to lose a customer. I love do we have to wear masks? Yes. Can I cancel my membership? You dumb motherfucker. You're going to have to wear a mask any other gym you go to. You're just using an excuse to not work out. Like, this has nothing to do with the mask, but it's one of my biggest pet peeves at my work. That when people have a car accident, obviously that affects your insurance. Right. People call and they're like, I had one accident. Like, I can't believe my payment went up this much. I'm going to need to find another insurance company. It's like, okay, the car accident doesn't just stay at this one company. It follows your ass for what? 3-4 years. It's like, how dumb are you? And it's like, it's the same with a lot of different types of people and types of scenarios. It's like, they're just tone deaf. They're tone deaf. It's like, you're never going to get through to them because they're stuck in their ways and they're going to think what they want to think. And it sucks that, you can't change them, but that's just how it goes. That's just how people are. So I don't know how to pronounce her name. Caylin Maxwell.
I don't know how to pronounce her first
arrested.
name. Yeah.
So Jeffrey Epstein. I honestly didn't know about this broad till till recently. Yeah, this fucking.
You know what? We probably would have learned more about her, or heard her name more if we finished the.
The Jeffrey Epstein documentary. Yeah, but I already know that story. I already know he's a sick fuck, and I already know he's tied to a lot of other powerful and famous people who are also sick fucks, and I hope all of them can be exposed.
I read an article saying she's gonna start snitching.
Yep. We'll see. We'll see if she don't commit suicide before then.
Not only that, but can you imagine how much jail time they'll shave off for every name she gives?
Yeah, but it don't matter. She's a dead woman walking.
Yeah.
That's it for her. She's gonna end up suicide again. I just don't know how they would pull that off. It's like, because if that were to happen, if it were to pop up that she committed suicide in prison or whatever in her holding cell, it would be pretty much 100% confirmed that Jeffrey Epstein also was killed, and this is all a giant conspiracy. But this is just like, this is real life freaking TV drama right here. We just got to see how this unfolds, and not think about the importance of the lives that were destroyed because of this. Like, that's also very important. That's also very to think about, and that's why justice deserves to be served.
Yeah.
I don't know what much more we can say about this because we don't know all the facts, and I kind of don't want to know all the facts at this point, because the more I read into it, the more I hear about it, the angrier I get.
The more upsetting.
This world is controlled by a hierarchy of people that are all interwebbed that we don't know about, and they basically meet up in the shadows and do shit like this. And it's true. Like, I'm sorry, but look at the world today. Like, how much money, how much politics makes the world go around. You'd think there's not shady shit like behind the back. I used to be in a fraternity of like 50 dudes, and even in that, they found a way to this stupid little secret fraternity within the fraternity that the rest of the fraternity doesn't know about. I'm giving away secrets here, but you really think all these politicians and famous wealthy people don't have shit behind the shadows? I mean, look at Alex Jones. He's already try to expose like all these that's, I forgot what it's called, that secret group of like politicians and rich people where they worship some fucking owl god. It's ridiculous. So
where is that guy now? Is he still in jail?
Oh, dude, we better stop talking about him before they wipe us off of existence like they did him. Yeah.
Because like one moment he's on Joe Rogan, and then the next moment he's on the news.
Boom.
And then in jail, and then where'd he go?
Oh, that's how it works behind the scenes when those people are pulling the strings and jerking each other's cocks and making them do what they want. That's how it works. That's how it works. Just like those fuckers that are already reaching out to us. Oh, we can get you 3,000 new listeners in a week. Just give us 20% of your fucking podcast. Hey, how about this? How about you go fuck yourself? All right, you want to come get a piece of my podcast just to give me 20 new listeners? No.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself. All right, I'm gonna get I want people to come across it. I want people to listen to us and get entertainment out of us. You can agree with our points. You can disagree with our points. You can listen to us just because you wanna agree to disagree with us. You know what I mean?
Honestly.
You can listen to us forever, but or for any reason. But I want to reach those people out there. Like, this podcast isn't for everybody. This podcast isn't meant to be for everyone. We both wanted to do this podcast to reach out and find the people that are basically like-minded like us. And entertain them, and we can reach out to them, and we're here for those people, basically. I don't even know how I went off on that tangent. I'm very, very ADD today.
It's okay.
What do you got?
So, did you hear about the story about that hotel employee in North Carolina who was a white woman, and she called the cops on a family, a mom and her 2 little kids, stating that they were trespassing on hotel property to swim in the swimming pool. Turns out they were actually staying there. The woman was there for work. She had her children with her, and they were African American.
Really?
Yeah.
And what happened to the lady that called the cops?
All I saw was that the hotel cut ties with her immediately.
Good. Fuck.
Like,
you,
how
lady.
do you even, like, without knowing the facts?
These people, pieces of shit, man.
I just don't see how she could have done that. Like, the thought process that went into that, there was none. It's just, it's sad, and it's stories like that make me believe that,
it exists.
It
exists,
and it
existed forever. Now we just have, things like social media and cameras and things to expose these people. And I'm glad social media, you know, you could say there's lots of good and bad things about social media and things in the world today with that, but I'm glad it exposes pieces of shit like this, honestly. I really am.
Yeah.
I really am. We should all have peace and love, people. All right? Don't matter who you are. All right? Like I said, if I meet you, I'm cool with you, and then I'll know sooner or later if you're a piece of shit or not, and then I'll adjust, you know, how I treat you based on that. That's how you should treat people.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Apparently, the unemployment, you know, rate went down, and 4.8 million jobs were added back to the economy, or were added. They try to advertise that 4.8 million jobs were added to the economy, but it's a big win.
Yeah.
But it was added back. Like, this is the
Does
news.
nobody
This
know
is the
what
headline.
minus and pluses?
Literally, headline is, you know, 4.8 million jobs added. Like, unemployment fell. Or, you know, I guess, fell. And, you know, it's like a big victory, you know. President Trump thinks it's a big victory. And it's like, no, all these fucking 4.8 million places where jobs were closed down.
Yeah.
And now they just opened back up.
Yeah.
That's not really much of a news story. I just thought it was something funny I came across. It's just ridiculous on how the news works, basically.
Like the thought process of
exactly.
anybody.
Real quick, I'll say another one that's another interesting one. Yeah. Tesla is now the most valuable car company in the world.
I think I saw something.
Yeah, last year I gotta look into it. Last year I think it was like 20 million they made. They basically didn't make shit last year, and then this year they're the most valuable car company. Yeah, so Tesla passed Toyota to become the world's most valuable automaker. The Tesla stock rose to 1,135. That brings the company's value to about 206.5 billion.
God damn.
Toyota is currently around 2.2 billion. So it passed Toyota.
Wow.
And it's crazy because not too long ago, you remember all the news about they can't, you know, their stocks were down. They can't produce enough cars. They don't have enough money. They're closing down. And now look at them.
Yeah.
You know, it's fucking crazy.
Back on top again.
Yeah, and I think it's because honestly, you know, the way people are. Number one, it's the popularity of Elon Musk.
Oh, yeah.
And number two, I think it is good. Number two, I think people are realizing the Teslas are fucking badass. I mean, if I ever get to the point where I can have a Tesla, then I'll be like, you know what? I think I'm good.
Yeah.
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need fucking Porsches and I'm not a very too much of a materialistic person, but Teslas are just badass.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so... and I think people are, you know, the whole global warming issue and people wanting to go electric and leave less of a carbon footprint.
Oh, okay, I get you now.
I want to say.
I would be grateful if I ever one day get to have a Tesla, but I would have to be picky with the color because I actually follow somebody on Snapchat who just got a hot pink one.
Oh my god!
Yeah, for her birthday.
I wonder how much that would cost extra.
I know.
Because like not all Teslas drive themselves. Just to have that ability for it to drive themselves and things like that, that's like an extra $2,500 added onto it, or even $5,000. I think.
And then the color.
Depending on it. God. Yeah, and then the color, like they have base colors, but if you could get custom colors, and I'm sure that's much more expensive as well. Wow. So they're expensive cars.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean, but they do have some base, some base ones that are started like $30,000.
Yeah.
So I mean. I think just not Tesla alone, but electric cars too are, you know, they're gonna slowly start taking over because even Elon Musk said, you know, anyone that needs the blueprints to an electric car, he'll give it to him because he himself wants just more of them on the road.
Yeah. Wow. In honor of 4th of July, I read a story that America is expected to run out of fireworks this weekend.
Really?
Yes, because 90% of the fireworks supplied to the world come from China, and and when the coronavirus hit, they had to stall production.
Wow.
And then when it was time to come back, they just picked up where they left off. But look at, you know, the time between they were able to start back up till now, still having to get them over here. Wow. You know.
Yeah.
So there's like a fireworks shortage right now. It's crazy.
Sorry, like my mind. What the fuck?
Oh, wait, don't touch it. Okay.
This is ridiculous. Sorry, I don't know. I keep... Oh, you know what? I think it's because this cord keeps wrapping on this cord. I keep fucking with my mic, people.
I know.
Keep fucking with my mic, and it keeps unplugging. We keep having to stop and re-record. So this podcast may sound shitty just because we have to add so many audio files together now.
Yeah. That's okay.
All right. What's next? Mississippi is changing the state flag.
What?
Yeah, because their state flag is basically like it's blue. It has one blue stripe, one white stripe, and one red stripe. And then in the corner in a box is a Confederate flag.
Is that like a real thing?
Yeah,
that they're doing.
They're changing it. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But okay, so about the Confederate flag, I mean, of course, I'm not a fucking historian. I do have a good friend they could tell you all about the Civil War, World War II. He's has a degree in history. He can tell you all about that. We'll have him on soon. But basically, the base of it is the Confederate flag had various forms, okay?
Yeah.
And basically, what we know today as a Confederate flag was basically the last form of the Confederate flag because it went through many changes, right?
Okay.
Literally, the last form that we know of the Confederate flag, that was already after the Civil War had started or right before the Civil War started. Like I said, I'm not a fucking historian. I'm not going to tell you facts. You can Google it if you want to know the real history. But basically, layman's term, like it was explained to me, it was right before or during the Civil War that the final state of the Confederate flag was out, and that was the flag that we know as a Confederate flag that we see everywhere. Same thing like statues. All the statues that were put up in the South, they're not really made that well. The statues were put up during the Civil War as like a fuck you to anyone who was opposed.
Yeah.
So the Confederate flag was a symbol of racism.
Yeah.
Because that was the Confederate Army's flag.
Yeah.
And number one, why would you want to wave and wear a loser flag? Like they're losers. Yeah. They're fucking losers.
They don't get that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
They're
like
denial.
And hey, if you support the Confederate flag, I mean, I'm not gonna tell you to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You can. It's hard. I want to say.
I want to say fuck off, but I don't want to.
Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of it is just naive people. I've come to understand the people that they're just like I said. When people grow up in a certain area, they tend to have the views and thoughts and evolve with those views and thoughts in that area. And a lot of people don't know the exact history of the Confederate flag. Maybe their parents waved a Confederate flag, and their parents don't know the history. We have a lot of ignorant people in the world. So for a lot of people, the Confederate flag, they could argue that it's heritage. It's where they're coming from, the South. Like, no, you can't say the Confederate flag is a Southern flag.
Yeah.
A lot of people are just ignorant to the history of it, and they just use it as a symbol of their heritage because since they're a baby and since they grew up, all they've known is that flag. People have, my buddy Joe over there has a Confederate flag on his truck. My dad has a Confederate flag in his living room, or Billy Bob over there, got a Confederate flag, on his front lawn. That's just, if you grow up in an area where that's all you see, you don't really get a chance to sit down and ask and see the history of it.
Yeah.
You just think that that's just a part of your culture, and then you end up liking that. And is that part wrong?
No. Yeah.
But like I said, there comes to a certain point where you need to there comes a certain point where you're out of age where you need to understand things in the world and how the world works and history and things like that. So at a certain point, it does become your fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right on that part.
So yeah, but I mean, again, I just don't understand why you would want to wave a loser flag. That's like, how like in the Super Bowl when two teams are in the Super Bowl and like they have hats and shirts and shit made for both teams in case they win, so they can put it on right away. That's like if one team won and you go online, if there was a way and you bought the loser team's jersey and the loser team's hat that say Super Bowl champions on it. That's literally what. Well,
I wonder what they do with that the other team merch.
Apparently they send it to third world countries. That's what I've heard.
Really?
Not confirmed, but that's what I heard.
That would be a good idea.
I mean, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, they places
Someone
that
will
need
use
clothing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Just not here where we know where they are.
Yeah.
Or who they are, yeah.
Oh man, touchy subjects.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Did you hear, or you did, because we were watching some podcasts and they were talking about him, that D.L. Hewley, the one that passed out at the
the comedy
the comedy club, right? Did you see in the news that he came out and said that, yes, I tested positive, he gave it to his family and his coworkers.
Shit, that's crazy, because he didn't even know he had it too, right?
Yeah, he didn't have symptoms.
But apparently he passed out because he was like exhausted, and like on top of coronavirus, he was traveling and he was working and he was exhausted, he was tired and he didn't sleep. So all that together with the coronavirus, that's why he just passed on stage.
Yeah.
And then Brian Callen and Brendan Schaub too. Yes. Yeah, they got coronavirus while in San Antonio.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, coronavirus don't care who you are. If you're gonna get it, you're gonna get it.
And then too, a lot of news that's been kind of it's just surrounding us because we're here located in Texas. The news about that girl in the army, they found her body, Vanessa Guillen.
Yeah, I mean, shut that fucking base down.
I know, honestly,
forehead,
after everything,
there's so much shit going on in that base.
Off.
So what's the story? Share the story.
Yeah,
as much as you know.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, she went missing end of April. Her family, and then too, the sister. She was just in a press conference, Vanessa's sister, and she's just like, super emotional, and it was just, but she kept saying, they lied to me, and then I think I had told you about it, what she was saying, and how you told me how the timeline.
Oh yes, the timeline basically matches up I think it was the first time the sister went to the base asking questions, demanding answers, trying to find my sister, or trying to find her sister. They were disposing of the body. Yeah. Like, that's fucking crazy. Yeah, so this whole time she's been missing. People, there was a bunch of different speculations, as to who it was. And, they had their suspects. And then, when was it? A couple days ago? Yeah. One of the guy, who was responsible for the sexual harassment, shit like that. He just fucking killed himself. Shot himself like a fucking coward. The day that they found her remains. Yeah. Yeah. Fucking coward. I agree. Pussy, man. And then they have his chick or whatever that fucking helped. Yeah. Because the family's attorney came out and said that she was bludgeoned to death with a hammer. Yeah, because he didn't want her to ruin his military career. Well, guess what, dude? Now everyone knows you're a fucking pussy. Yeah. So congratulations. Yeah. That's fucking sad and fucking sick. And then too, just recently, so that other guy, that poor guy Gregory, they found his remains, and it's real sad. The military will not give him a military service because he was listed as AWOL, but he was fucking. The other soldier that they found missing. Yes, he disappeared, and they listed him as AWOL. That he just I guess got up and left on his own, but no. That's what I mean, and there's like more cases that are coming out about like misconduct and abuse and sexual abuse and this forehead, and it's like that's what I told you about, like that one guy. It's like I don't want to make excuses for people, but they remember that guy that actually shot up Fort Hood. He was a soldier, and he was Muslim, and the media and everything blamed it on the fact that he was Muslim and he was terrorist. What if he did? Now looking back and looking at what we know now, what if he did that because I don't know, the way it sucks that people get treated that way based on what they believe in and how they look, but how do you know he wasn't mistreated because of who he was? Yeah, he was probably fucking fed up. And he was probably fed up. We're not making excuses. What he did was wrong, and it was an act of terrorism. But why did we just dismiss it so well or so easy? Why didn't we investigate back then? Maybe all this wouldn't have happened now. Yeah. You know what I mean? But media just wrote it off. Oh, a terrorist attack. Yeah. Shit's been going on for so long. Yeah, a guy who lived in the United States for so long and actually was able to get into the military. Yeah. Terrorist attack. Yeah. What if it was a guy that was just fed up being treated like shit? Yeah. Oh, fuck. We don't. Like I said, we don't know what we don't know. And that's think about it. It's real. It's like all this. There's tons of shit behind the scenes. Like there's behind the scenes politics in any job that you work at. There's people there. You go to McDonald's, there's behind the scenes politics. There is politics in everything from the smallest job to the biggest government. There's back behind the scenes politics and behind the scenes abuse and who this guy hooks up this guy and does favors for this guy. This girl does favors for this guy. This is like a whole web behind everything that we see and we don't know about. Yeah, it's just fucking sad. These people are out there, serving our country, and they're the ones being treated like shit. Yeah, and it's like not just I guess you would say it's military personnel, but just how the government treats the military. Yeah. Like I don't understand the way I look at it. It's like you go overseas preparing to die for your country, and you come back, and it's like people don't care. Yeah. Yeah, you get a thank you for your service, but when you're trying to find a job or when you're jobless or when you're homeless, like the government doesn't really seem to care. They figure, oh, you're lucky because you came back alive. Yeah, but you come back alive and you come back, and while you're overseas, all you saw is death. Not only total strangers, not only children, not only elderly people, people of every age, but your best friends.
Yeah.
People that you've only known in that world, and all you know is that world, and you see your friends die, maybe loved ones that die, friends get transferred to other bases, and then you find out stories of about them, people that are injured, and then when you're injured and you're in a hospital, you're cooped up in a hospital, and all you've known is go, complete the mission, be with my squad, be with my team, and then all of a sudden you're away from them.
Yeah.
And you have all this fucking trauma in your head and all these thoughts in your head, and nobody seems to listen. Nobody seems to care or want to listen. I think there needs to be better programs for veterans. Look, I'm in no area to talk about this, but this is the world how I see it. This is just how I see it. Just my opinion.
Yeah, no.
A lot of veterans have the macho mentality. Like, men don't seek help. Men don't need to talk about problems. Men don't cry. Because, I'm not saying everyone, but there are people like that.
Yeah.
And they stick to the mentality, and because of that, they don't seek out help. You need to understand mental health is important, and especially to our veterans, it's the most important to them. But it's okay to reach out for help. And, it's just, like I said, this is just, it's fucked up. All the behind the scenes webbing is just, it's fucked up. I'm probably going to have to cut out a lot of what I said because I don't even know if it made sense. But
why? It did.
It did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I also read another story. It was kind of crazy, and I know you hear of these things happening and it's like a mystery. Yeah. Well, in the past 3 months in Botswana, which is located in the bottom of South Africa, it's near South Africa. Elephants, and you read about that? It's already over 360 elephants. They're just like dying for mysterious reasons. They've already done they've already done panels of blood work trying to figure out, I don't still think that they've found causes of death.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was cyanide, or they believe it was cyanide.
Maybe, but this was this. Yeah,
that's
I read
sad,
this.
Man.
Yeah,
poor Elise.
It makes you wonder, and there's always these things that happen.
Yeah.
Why are these animals dying mysteriously? I've heard of it happening before. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, because it could be for any reason.
R.I.P. to the elephants out there. We know there's a lot of current events going on. Lots of news stories. We'll get to more over time, but I think that's pretty good for today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So let us know what you think about these stories. Not about our opinions. I mean, if you agree or disagree with us, I guess.
If you've heard any updates,
just don't talk shit. Like, come on, be real, people.
Yeah.
You're listening to a podcast. Listen to our opinions.
If we're trying to be real back.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we are. We're trying to be real.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, we are going to do more episodes on current events if this works out, just like the weird facts.
Yeah.
So, honestly, speaking of the email or contacting us, send us some weird facts. Send up some current events you want us to talk about. We're going to do entertainment news. Pretty soon we'll do gaming news. Back to the pro wrestling. We'll do pro wrestling rumor mill. Other episodes we have planned, or like the childhood movie review.
Oh, that was a good idea.
Yeah. So I came up with that me and you are gonna, basically watch I'll watch a movie from your childhood I hadn't seen, and you'll watch a movie from my childhood that I hadn't seen.
Nice.
And we'll review them.
I love it.
Mind you, I was watching rated R movies at like age 10, so we'll get on some of those. Crazy stories of the month. No matter what type of story it is, if there's any super crazy stories out there, we'll also do a crazy story of the month episode. Of course, you can still expect top 5, top 10 list episodes.
Yeah.
Another one I'm excited about is comparing music genre lyrics.
Oh.
So for example, we're gonna get a rap album, or we'll get a rap R&B album from a certain time, and then we'll compare it to a let's say metal album from that was released at that same time.
Yeah.
And we'll compare lyrics on certain songs of the albums.
Wow. Yeah.
So if you have any suggestions for that, let us know. Universe and space news, of course. So we'll give you some of that too.
Wait. Speaking of universe and space, we watched another movie, Passengers. Oh my god. Another great movie.
Yeah, I would say Passengers probably in my top 5.
Yeah.
Top 5 movies. Same as Shutter Island. Shutter Island would be number 1, but Passengers, I don't know if I would put it 2. But I would have to think about other movies, but definitely top 5.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
Oh, God.
It's a great movie.
I really love it.
And I would love the idea of falling asleep on a ship for 130 years, being in hibernation for 120 years, and then waking up on a new planet And then the Jennifer Lawrence's character, how she was a reporter, so she was literally gonna leave Earth on that ship, be in hibernation for 120 years, wake up on the new planet, on the new Earth-like planet, be there for a year, and then go back to Earth, hibernate again for another 120 years, and go back to Earth. But by that time, she would have went back to Earth about 250 years later. So she literally would like wake up, spend a year on a new planet, and then go to sleep, wake up in the fucking future of Earth. Like, whoa.
I know,
the
right?
fact that can actually happen one day.
Mind blowing.
Blows my fucking mind. But I hope they look at this movie at all the fucking problems that can go wrong with that too.
I know. Jesus.
So honestly, Passengers, I wanted a way to do episodes to talk about movies like Shutter Island, do movies like Passengers, but those are obviously older movies that people it's probably already podcasts and videos out there. But the way we can do it is we'll do things like a movie of the month, an album of the month, a game of the month, things like that. Even a show of the month or best moments of each show. So we'll do some exciting things like that where we can actually have a reason to talk about something like Shutter Island or Passengers. Yeah. So maybe one of those will be the movie of the month this month, and then we'll get more in depth of it. Yeah. So there you go, guys. Lots of exciting ideas for episodes coming out. If you have any suggestions, if you have any things based on these topics, let us know.
Yeah, reach out to us.
Exactly. So, Caylin, what else do you got?
I think we're good.
You have anything you want to say to the beautiful people out there?
You're beautiful.
You're beautiful. You're my best view.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, baby. All right. Well, there we go, guys. Peace and love, and you will hear from us soon.
Bye, guys.
I want people to be afraid of how much they love me.